carry out deforestation. Pitch the device to the National Environmental Management Authority. Kansime Esther, whenever you're ready.
Before you start, this is the time. Feel free to greet everyone. You can say shout outs to my coach, to who. Then you start. You have like 30 seconds to do that, okay? Sure. All right, for all our finalists, feel free to give shout outs. If your dad supported you, if your teacher supported you, you have 30 seconds to greet them and tell them, I made it. If your mom is going to watch live, same thing. Is that okay? All the best.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kansime Esther, here to deliver a speech. I begin in 3, 2, 1. I begin in 3, 2, 1. The Managing Director of the National Environment Management Authority, fellow environmentalists, climate activists, ladies and gentlemen, a good morning to you all. My name is Kansime Esther, a student from Parental Care Primary and Nursery School. When I stood on the green-grown planet of our country, I saw the devastating impacts of environmental degradation. This was due to improper disposal of plastic wastes, and mainly deforestation. This affects our country in a way whereby it has led to death of people due to climate change, food insecurity, and many others. In Uganda, our forests are disappearing at a rate of 88,000 hectares every year due to mainly deforestation. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you as a hopeful climate activist to tell you that I have developed a very great device called a Tree Protector 2000 that can help to map and report people who carry out deforestation, hence protecting our environment and having a better generation. This helps to develop our economy, reduce brain drain, and many others. I humbly request the National Environment Management Authority to support me in this device such that we can have a climate change-free country and reduce the death rates of people who die due to food insecurity, floods and droughts, and many others. My fellow Ugandans, together we can. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Esther, for that fine speech. Speaker number 2 is Samuela Lynn Katiti. The task is, the students of Uganda are at a risk of not succeeding because of poor education policies. Deliver a speech before the Ministry of Education to prioritize ethics and integrity as a core value in the new primary school's curriculum yet to be implemented. Use the statement, let's practice what we speak to the young generation in your speech. Katiti, you're welcome.
I begin my speech in I begin my speech in the count of 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone. My name is Samuela Linkatiti, and first I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank the Minister of Education for giving me this time. I've noticed something whenever I would get some time to visit different schools. And what I noticed that children don't pass, not because of any other minor reason, but because we don't prioritize ethics and integrity. Maybe if you sat down and thought about how children in schools would be if they prioritized ethics and integrity, you would feel the changes. So, let's practice what we speak to the young generation, and let's also not forget to prioritize ethics and integrity. With that, children will succeed highly. Thank you.
Thank you, Katiti, for that speech. Speaker number 3 is Mwang Pendo. The task is ethics and integrity are the cornerstone of every society. As a boy who grew up in a broken family with limited education opportunities, tell us your story of how you overcame this and the lessons you learned in promoting ethics and integrity, and how these lessons can help fight corruption in all sectors. Note, you are delivering your speech at the annual National Junior Schools Debate Championship Nationals at King's College, BUDO. Whenever you're ready.
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. The school administrators, judges here, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow pupils and teachers. My name is Manga Pendo Francis. A boy who was born and his mother left him. My mother ran away 3 months after my birth. I never even knew. I thought that it was normal for not all people to have a mother. I grew up in a family that wasn't the best. I grew up with not even the best education opportunities. I grew up not even with the best chances, because I grew in a village where everything was for sale. Even the right to a perfect education was for sale. But I knew in my heart that everyone has a choice, and I chose integrity. When parents were selling their land to buy positions for their children, my dad spent every coin, my single dad spent every coin on buying me textbooks, getting me teachers, paying my school fees. And guess what? Who was the best in PLE in Katwe village? Mwanga Pendo. The name that was everywhere. What I learned is that everyone has a choice. That you should choose integrity even when it is hard. What I learned is that you have no excuse for lying. Look at our leaders. Before every elections, they preach so much that they're going to help us, but in the end of it all, the roads that lead to our villages are still destroyed. Where are they? They have chosen laziness over integrity. Well, that's not an excuse. They don't have time. That's not an excuse. That's not a good enough excuse to tell you why we have voted you and you're not helping us. The lesson here is that all of us have a choice. You can choose integrity over laziness. You can choose purpose over comfort. Because the truth is, ordinarily, we push to the limit. But extraordinarily, we push beyond the limit. So let's be the extraordinary people in this situation and choose integrity. Let us be ethical people. Let us be people who build hospitals, not because they want to allocate doctors, but they want mothers to stop giving birth on floors. Let us build schools, not because we want to show everyone that we have schools, but for quality education for the children who stand without a school. Because after it all, integrity is the cornerstone of every society. And in my society, I shall no longer allow people to stay unethical. Thank you.
Thank you, Pendo, for that speech. Speaker number 4 is Namba Huda. The task is, in Uganda today, environmental degradation is rampant and the environment is at risk of damage. With an increase in deforestation, swamp clearing, among others, deliver a speech showing how education can be used as a powerful tool to achieve environmental protection. Begin your speech with, "Be the change you want in the world." Huda, whenever you're ready.
Be the change you want to see in the world. My dear grandchildren listening to me, I am old, but I've got a chance to talk to you. Remember, this environment is what makes you and me, and education is part of that. Let me tell you a story about a boy called Sam. This boy grew up with a dream to stand up maybe one day as a strong activist of environmental protection. But due to her mom was like, "I'm not allowing you to go to school because only girls are supposed to access education." This boy never gave up. He continued even if he never went to school. He continued learning different things in his environment. Soon enough, he found out that in his environment there is deforestation, swamp drainage, poor disposal of rubbish. And as a young boy, he got solutions to all of that. As he continued growing up, he started writing simple notes in newspapers, saying that we can stop deforestation by carrying out reforestation and afforestation to prevent drought. He stood up and said that we can prevent the poor disposal of rubbish if we provide enough dustbins. And by planting trees around vegetation, we will be able to protect the swamps, bushes, and so many others. My dear little ones, listen to me. You are the change that will bring a smile to all of these people. You are the angel, you are the superstar who will stand up confidently in this environment whereby trees are cut down without replacement. In this environment where rubbish is where you and me are free to live. In an environment where swamps are not part of us, where wildlife is not concerned. But I want you to become the angel. I want you to stand up and say, I am standing as a confident activist of environmental protection to tell you that without those trees we are going to face drought. To tell you that if we continue draining the swamps and constructing industries, we are going to suffer due to floods. You stand up confidently and say that we can be the change in the world. And I believe that.
Thank you, Huda, for that speech. Speaker number 5 is Nalwoga Hatma. The task is, you are the newly appointed Minister of Education and Sports in Uganda. Give your appointment speech speaking about how you will use education and integrity as the pillars to build a better Uganda. Begin or end your speech with, yes, you can, yes, I can, yes, we can. Hatma, whenever you're ready.
Yes, you can. Yes, I can. Yes, we can. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As your newly appointed Minister of Education and Sports, today I want to tell you the importance of education and integrity in our nation. We all know education is not just a joke, but is something that leads to success. Today, I have seen many people, sweet children, people staying on roads looking for money because they are illiterate. Today, I want us to make our nation shine full of education. And we need to preach integrity, not just prosperity. I encourage all of us to make sure that we take our children to schools and they learn. Because education is not just a joke, but it's something that leads to success. And we all want to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. To our audience, let's try and maintain silence. Speaker number 6, 13th Anisha. The task is, you have been given the chance to be the Inspector General of Government for a day. At the end of the day, you are to give a speech about what new policies you have implemented that will help rid the country of corruption. Note, your speech should focus on the sectors of education and environment. Whenever you're ready.
I start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Prime Ministers, Ministers and the body at large, good morning. I stand here today to serve as the Inspector General of the government to fight the termite, the insect, which is corruption. But let me first tell you a story. There live people in Masaka village. These people were not educated. One day, they decided to cut down all the trees in the village. As an outcome, these people started dying day by day just because of drought. But I stand here today to tell you that corruption is something that is making people die day by day, that is corrupting the country. Laws are becoming useless just because of corruption. Children are dropping out of school day by day. Our nation is experiencing drought. People are dying just because of corruption. Corruption is affecting us silently. By the end of that day, it is going to be big, and there will be no solution. But as the newly inspector of the general government, I set a policy that says, if we catch any corrupt official, he or she is going to be arrested, or all of us in the country have to be whistleblowers. A whistleblower is a person that hunts for corrupt officials every corner they go, and if you're caught, I think things won't go well. But let us try to be let us try to be whistleblowers. Let us try to fight corruption to put our country in a safe situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Anisha. Last speaker is Murungi Prima. The task is you have been elected as the youth representative in the National Parliament in a parliamentary setting discussing the establishment of a new educational system. You are given a chance to speak, address members of the House, advocating for environmental conservation and ethics to be the center of this new curriculum. Begin or end with "Join me in this revolution." Whenever you're ready.
My speech starts in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Murungi Prima, and today I'm presenting the youth from the National Parliament. Before I start my speech, I'd like to thank the members who have given me in this house, who have given me this chance to speak to you. My brothers, my sisters, the future of Uganda. We have seen it recently in Kampala. There are some businessmen who have lost their property due to floods. We have seen it that in Karamoja region, some families are struggling with hunger due to drought. In other places like Esese and Bale, floods wash away their homes, causing them great suffering. However, we are not helpless. We can take meaningful steps to protect our environment. Let us encourage the people of Uganda. Let us encourage the people of Uganda to protect wetlands, stop deforestation, reduce pollution, and most of all, protect renewable energy. That will help us conserve the environment. Secondly, let us be honest to ourselves. They'll tell you your tribe is your ticket. They'll tell you your last name is your legacy. They'll sell to your politics, us versus them, but do not buy it. Do not buy it because that's the old way. That's the password that has held us back for generations. That's the fire that doesn't warm but destroys. A fire that consumes everything living, only ash. So, let us unite. Let us form a new generation that declares our primary tribe to be Uganda and our common religion to be progress. Let us be the fire that forges a new united nation, not the fire that burns the old one down. Because the future is watching. Let's make it proud. I call out to you all in the National Parliament to help us. Please join me in this revolution.
All right. Thank you, Prima, for that wonderful speech. That makes the end of this year's Junior Speech and Debate Championship. You've been a good audience, and may the best speaker take it home.
All right, thank you very much. I think we're going to be having news anchoring.